it better than you found it. Leave it better than you found it. It's part of who we are. You're part of looking at Kyle Rice and what he's done. It's his focus in life right now is to leave it better than he found it. For us as a program, it's what we've asked our players to do, is to leave it better than they found it. I was so impressed and very proud by the three representatives we had up here tonight, because they are representing our program very well. And it's because of that kind of leadership that I feel very strongly that this year, that this team will leave our program better than they found it. That is the responsibility we have. And we live by three things. We live by those values, the relentless effort, mental toughness, selfless spirit. Those are what guide us along the path. And what we hope is this, is that even if we're not wearing Louisville across the chest, that if somebody were to come out and watch us play, that they would recognize us, because we live out those values on a daily basis. It was interesting today. We had a training this morning at Card Park, and every once in a while people come out to watch. And we always invite, whether it's coaches or teams, and this youth team, an 05, born in 2005, came out from LSA to watch us train today. And they were up in the stands, and I took the opportunity after training was over to run. As they were leaving, I just ran over, and I can't help myself to find teaching moments, so I gathered them together. I said, what did you see today? What was it about this, what happened today? What is it that you take from it? One kid raised his hand. He said, the effort. It's unbelievable, the effort that their team puts in the whole time. I said, what else? They said the communication, that you guys are so collective in what you do, that everybody's talking all the time. I said, what else? He says, you guys clean up really fast. You see, we have a rule here at the end of training. I say, okay, 1 minute. Every ball has to be in the bag. Every cone has to be picked up. Every vest, everything. They have 1 minute. Our guys leave it better than they found it in 1 minute. And here we sit here without ever prompting these kids of what they were looking for. They spoke into us of exactly what we look like, and we were living out those values already. Here's what I can tell you about this team. They're committed. With the help of the alumni, we have over 20 players that were in a month ago, working with our performance team, committed to being in the best possible shape going into the season. Our performance team, Jason Durkin, comes to us about a week ago, and he says, I assure you, having had the chance with working with your team, this is the best team you've ever had going into preseason. They are committed. They are all in. There was a time when we had Elijah, we were training him to get out of the crib into a big bed. Tina and I were a little concerned. He was a restless sleeper, and we end up putting him in the big bed for the first night, and sure enough, we're in the room next to it, and we hear this thud. We go running in, and he's laying on the floor, and he comes to, and he said, Elijah, what happened? And then he spoke some wisdom. He said, Dad, I think I stayed a little bit too close to where I got in. This team has not stayed so close to where we got in. They've already shown the desire to be committed, and they're all in. I cannot promise you what the outcome is going to be this season, but I can promise you this: we are committed to leaving it better than we found it. And I know that for this group, that winning a national championship is not only important for this program, but right now for this institution. And to do it in a way that everybody is proud of how we handled ourselves. And that even when we're playing in a national championship game, if we don't have Louisville on our chest, everybody will know we're playing for a national championship because of how we act and how we go about our business. Let me say this as well, that you gathered here tonight, you create this momentum for us. And I don't know if you really understand how important and how strong that is, because you coming up and being here today and spending your evening and your time here shows that you care about this group and about this season and how important that is to our team. I ask that you continue to care, you continue to show up, and you continue to support us in our desire and our run to a national championship. We're committed to it. There's no team I've ever been a part of that is more committed to it than this group. We're talented, but listen, there have been a lot more talented teams that haven't been committed, that haven't reached the promised land. What I know is the commitment will take us a long way. And listen, we also have the talent to follow. What I ask is that you continue to support us, continue to push us along, especially in those times we need it most. It makes a difference. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Those that have won the or earned with their bids, we thank you so much for bidding and bidding well on the items, and we appreciate it. And again, thank you so much for coming tonight, and have a safe trip home. Thank you.